Good morning, students. In the lecture series of subject Business Analytics using Python, today we will start the second unit of this subject. In the second unit, we will study the concept of functions. What we have done in unit 1, that is, you can say that in simply what you have write, according to that you can get the output. But now the same thing that you have done in unit 1, now you can use all those functions, or you can use all those programs, you can write all those programs now, but with the help of functions. Okay, if for example you want to write a program for the addition of two numbers, you simply take from the keyboard as an input two numbers, and in third line you simply write c equal to a plus b, for example. Now in this unit, first of all we will discuss what the function is, how we can write the function, how we can call the function, and how we can use the concept of function within this particular programming language. Okay, then let's start. CO1 we have already done. You can again read the line of this CO1, course outcome 1, gain knowledge of programming with Python in business analytics. Okay, honestly you can ask from yourself that whether this particular CO1 has been completed or not. Okay, if you have practiced, if you have used the concept of all those concepts that we have already discussed in section 1 or in unit 1, if you have already applied the concept, if you have already solved the programming problems or the questions that we have discussed in class or we have given in for the practice purpose, you all should know whether you should gain the knowledge of programming with Python or not. Okay, yeah, now we will discuss the CO2. We will start our unit 2, and corresponding to that unit 2, our course outcome will be, means at the end of this particular unit you will know how to apply the modular programming approach using methods and functions. Okay, now we will start this unit. In the syllabus, first unit has already been done. We have already discussed this one. Now unit 2 is functions and strings. In this particular lecture we will discuss about the functions. Function in Python is what? How to define a function, calling a function, types of function, then function argument, anonymous function, global and local variable. This is the part of the function, and after that string will start. Okay, so we will start functions in Python. Let's start. Okay, then function is, okay, Python enables its programmer to break up a program into a segments commonly known as function. You can say that if in layman language or in a simple language, if I am telling you, that means you can say that a self-contained block of statements that perform a particular task. It is not necessarily or mandatory that you should write or you should learn those, you should cram those heavy words that does not make a sense, or you need to apply a mind to find out what will be the meaning of this one. Like the definition is written in the function over here. Python enables its programmer to break up a program into a segments commonly known as function. Okay, each of which can be written more or less independently of the others. Each function in the program is supposed to perform a well-defined task. In simple words, you can say that a self-contained block of statements that perform a particular task can be defined as a function, or it may call it as a, or is known as a function. Okay, this is the function, this is the block where function 1 is written, and the definition, this is the calling, this is the method of how we can call the function. Okay, but while we will define the function, this will be the in this second block, this is define function 1 then colon. That means now we are defining the body of the function. Okay, by comment line this it writes over here, that is function code. Whatsoever you want to write, the or the set of statements or the block that contains or that will perform a particular task, you can write the sentences over here. That will be the definition of your function 1. When you will call like this, it will call this definition. Whatsoever the statements or the instructions are written over here, that will be executed one by one. Okay, this is the definition of function. And within the definition, function 1 definition, you have called the function 2. That means when the statements are to be executed sequentially and when this function 2 will come, that means you have called the function. But where is the definition of this function? It will search the definition of the function 2. And this is the definition. In this definition of function 3, the function definition of function 2, function 3 will call. And now it will search the definition of function 3. And in function 3, there is the function 4. And in the function 4, it will search the definition of function 4. And this function 4 definition will go there. And whole of this will go there, function 3. And all of this will function definition of 2 goes to this function 2. And like this, this particular set of blocks, or you can say that set of statements will be executed. In simple terms, if you can define what is function, you may simply call it as a function is a self-contained block of one or more statements, you can say that perform a special or perform a particular task when called. Syntax of the function is given as you can see the syntax within this particular slide. This is all about the function. Next is need for functions. Okay, need for function is what? Each function to be written and tested separately. Next one is understanding, coding and testing multiple separate functions is far easier. Without the use of any function, then there will be a countless lines in the code and maintaining it will be a big mess. Programmers use function without worrying about their code details. This speeds up program development by allowing the programmer to concentrate only on the code that he has to write. Different programmers working on that project can divide the workload by writing different functions. Like Python libraries, programmers can also make their function and use them from different points in the main program or any other program that needs its functionality. Like in the figure you can see over here, this is the function 1. It requires function B, function C, function D. And in function C, it requires function C1. So this is what you can say that need for function is what? Each function has to be written and tested separately. Okay. If you are dividing a complex project into the different modules, means you can make or you can perform a separate functions for the separate modules. And it is to be very easy to write or very easy to code, and you can use those codes while you will integrate all those modules or the functions into the project. Okay, this is all about the need for function. Next is function declaration and definition. I have already highlighted the words like calling function and called function. It's a very confusing. Most of the things after the end of the semester, students are confused at what is calling function and what is called function. Okay, a function f that uses another function g. So you simply write there are the two functions. You can say that function f is one function and g is the another function. Is known as the calling function and g is known as the called function. Means function f that uses another function. In first slide, you have seen in the definition of 1, you called function 2, you called the function 2. In function 3, you called the function 4. That means the function that uses another function. That means that uses another function. Used function is called the called function and using function is called the calling function. The input that the function takes are known as arguments or parameter. Within the braces, within the bracket, what you have written, that you can call it as the arguments or the parameters. When a called function returns some results back to the calling function, it's set to return that result. Calling function may or may not pass parameter to the called function. If the called function accepts argument, the calling function will pass parameter, else not. Okay. Function declaration is a declaration statement that identify a function with its name, a list of arguments that accepts and the type of data it returns. What is it? It is the declaration function. And in the definition, within the definition, you simply write each and everything. For example, it consists of a function header that identify the function, followed by the set of statements, or you can say that body of the function containing the set of those statements that will be executed while you will execute or you will run that particular function, or containing the executable code for that function. So you should know what is calling function, what is called function, what are the arguments or parameters, what is the function declaration, and what is the function definition. You all should know right now. Okay. Next is function definition. Now we will discuss these points one by one. First one is, for example, function definition. Function definition is but function block that starts the keyword def, def. First of all, you all should know def is the keyword with the help of which you can start the or you can declare the function. You can see in this example def, diff, x, y. Def is a keyword. After that, your function name will be, you can say that, followed by the function name. Diff will be the, you can say that, difference, you may call it as, okay. This is the function name. Diff will be the function name. X and y are the arguments, or you can say that the parameters. All those things that we have already discussed in previous slides. Now you will see how we can use those things into our program. First point is the keyword is followed by the function name and parameter. I am telling you this one. In example, def is what? It is the keyword. Diff is what? The followed by the function name and then parenthesis. In the parenthesis, you have passed the argument x and y. And after the parenthesis, a colon is placed. This is the second point. Parameters or argument that the function accepts are placed within this parenthesis. Okay. Now, the first statement of a function can be an optional statement. That is, docstring describe what the function does. Okay. What you have written over here? Return x minus y. That means the function name is difference. You have written it as a diff. The first statement of a function can be an optional statement, the docstring describe what the function does. Okay, but it is not mandatory that each and every time you should write the documentation. Then code block within the function is properly indented. I have already told you that indentation will be a very big mess in this particular programming language. So indent, proper indentation to form the block code. Next one, a function we have a return expression statement. You have write this one. This, for example, operation equal to diff, a equal to 20, b equal to 10. These are the expressions. Function we have to return expression statement, that is return statement is optional. Last, you can assign the function name to a variable. You simply write diff is what? This is the function name, and you have now assigned this diff into the operations. Doing this will allow you to call same function using the name of that variable. Now this one, print operation. Operation is what? This is the variable where you have already assigned the function name into this particular variable and pass the parameters. These are the formal parameters x and y, and a and b are the actual parameters. A and b are what? A equal to 20 and b equal to 10. These are the actual parameter, and what you are going to do? Difference operator, return x minus y. The output will be 20 minus 10, that is equal to 10. So this is the function definition. Is it okay? Next is function call. How you can call the function? Function called means this is what the called function is. How you can call? Function call statements invoke the function. When a function is invoked, program control jump to the called function. When you will invoke a function, that particular control of your program will directly jump onto the called function. And called function is what? Where the definition is to be given. To execute the statements that are part of that statement. Once the function is called, once the called function is executed, program control passes back to the calling function. Is it okay? So this is what the difference between the calling function and called function. I think by now you should know what is calling function, what is called function, and how we can define the function and how we can call the function. Finally, we come into the function parameter. A function can take parameters which are nothing but some values that are passed to it so that the function can manipulate them to produce the desired results. These parameters are normal variables with a small difference that the value of these variables are defined. Means you can say that initialized. When we call the function and are then passed to the function name and the number and type of argument in the function call must be same as that given in the function definition. This you keep in mind. Your actual parameter and your formal parameter number will be same. Function name and the number and types of argument in the function call must be same as that given in the function definition. If it differ, in that case, program will throw an error. If the data type of the argument passed does not matches with that expected in function, then an error will definitely be generated. You can see over here def function name. Function name is what? This is the name of the function. Def is what? I have already told you this is the keyword for declaring the function name. Then variable 1 comma variable 2 and up to so this is what? This is known as the function header. Then documentation string, it is an optional. No need to provide the documentation string. It's totally an optional. If you want to do, then you can do, else you can leave this one. After that, statement block or return expressions. This is all about the calling function or how we can call the function. Next is example. This is all about the example. For example, you have write def function for I in range 4. We have already discussed the range function. Range function means whatsoever the range is given in it will come to -1. Print hello world. Hello world means this will print from 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 will not be included. Okay, like this is 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Hello world will print 4 times. Func is what? This is the function call method. This is the function definition where you have write function followed by the colon, and after that whatsoever you have written that will be considered as the definition of the function. And finally you will call the function, and corresponding to the statements that are enclosed within that function body, your program will provide the results. Second example you can see over here. This is def func I. I means what? Print hello world comma I. Function is what? 5 plus 2 multiplied by 3. This is the expression. I, what will be it? It is the expression. 2 multiplied by 3. 6 plus 5, 11. Now the function is what? I is what? 11. What you have print over here? Hello world comma 11. The answer will be, output will be hello world comma 11. Okay. Like this. Def total A comma B. Result is what? A plus B. Print sum of A and B is what? Result. Now A and B, you will take the input from the keyboards, and finally total A comma B. This is what the total. You have made the function, already defined the function. Now you are calling this function A and B. Above, this is A and B. These are the formal parameters. In actual parameters, you again write it as the A and B, because you have written A and B are those parameters in which the value is to be stored. And finally the answer will be one is 10, another is 20, and sum of those 10 and 20 will be equal to 30. Likewise, this is the fourth example. Def function I, printf hello world I. Then j equal to 10, function j. Listen to me very carefully. This is the function I. What you want to print within this function I? Hello world comma I. I comes from where? Whatsoever the argument you will pass while you will call the function. Now you have initialized a variable j equal to 10, and now you are passing, instead of passing the value of I, you are passing the j, and that contains 10. That means hello world comma 10 will be the answer. I think now it is to be very clear to all of you. If you have any doubt, you can discuss with me. Otherwise, these examples are more than enough. Okay, in such types of manner you can do your practice, or you can take the examples from the W3 schools or tutorialpoints.com. Okay. For today's lecture, it's all about from my side. Textbook and reference books are same. Thus we have already discussed in unit 1. W3 schools and tutorial points are the additional online link material. You can search the material from over there. You can, if you find any problem while writing the syntax and I am not with you at that time, means out of the class time or at your home, or at your home when you are using the help, you can take the help from this W3 schools and tutorial points.com. Okay. This is all about from my side. Thank you so much for the day. Thank you very much.